Hello.
Jimmy's play. Sorry.
Pardon?
Jimmy's play the last couple of weeks. What's the transition he has of Brady Hook's playing two spots? Like how does he manage that, and how do you think he's playing the last few weeks of doing that?
Jimmy's matured a lot as a football player, and so he's able to handle more. Right now in our development, he's the one guy that can play all three positions, and right now he's been tested because we're forcing him to play all three. But to his credit, he's kind of manned up and he's accepted the role, and he's doing a pretty good job.
John Ronald Jones broke his most rushing yards he had in the first quarter against of all season against Arizona. Their run defense their run game, I should say, has really come along, especially in October. What do you see out of USC's run game?
It's USC, but it's a big, strong, athletic line. They're really athletic, but they're big and strong, and they've got explosive backs. So right now, what you're seeing is a team that's starting to gel. Those guys doing a good job of sustaining blocks. And those backs, when they hit the hole, they're kind of like our guys. If they get through the line of scrimmage, you need to squeeze in a hurry, because if they get air, they'll take off and they can go the distance.
Conversely, do you feel like the run defense has gotten a little bit better for you guys? Your gap integrity kind of showing up a little bit?
The last couple games we've improved in a lot of areas. And I think one run defense is one of them. I think it's a combination of we're doing less things. I think it's a combination of our kids are kind of growing up a little bit, and I think it's a combination of just our kids fighting.
Along the lines of Jimmy playing well, Jonah looked like he had a nice game last game, and he said he's been playing some third down defensive end, kind of in a pass rush specialist. Can you kind of evaluate the transition he made from a 3-4 outside guy to now been moved around a little bit within the new scheme?
Yeah, Jonah has a lot of athletic abilities. He's a big young man. He's very physically strong and tough. And so right now, with some of the transition in our defense, some of the injuries, there's been some opportunity, and he jumped in the opportunity to try to help the team. So you see him at a variety of spots, and he has the physical ability to do it.
Just curious, when you picked him up a year before AJ from the same community college. Did you see AJ when you were looking at Jonah, or was that just you liked him out of Tigard and you just caught him a couple years later?
No, we were down there recruiting Jonah, and we saw AJ. Initially we weren't sure if we were going to need a junior college inside linebacker the following year,
right.
But he was on our radar.
Sure.
How much has Pellum improved, just overall over the course of his time here? It seems like he's gotten on the field a lot more, made some big plays for you guys.
Yeah, Lano's a very passionate, hard-working individual, and every opportunity he gets, he's doing everything he can on and off the field. A lot of film study, a lot of those things to really improve himself. And I think you're seeing a reflection of the effort he's putting in.
Mark said you guys are seeing more collisions. Can you expand on maybe? Is it just simply that guys just running into guys, or what does that mean when you guys are getting more collisions from your linebacker position?
It can mean a variety of things. The one thing that I'll point out, I think our kids are settling into understanding what we're doing. And so when they're seeing things, they're more confident and they're tricky. So all of a sudden, it's not I'm hesitating, I see it, bam, I go. And I think that's part of it. You'd have to talk to the head coach to get the rest of it.
Are you surprised it's taken till November for guys for it to maybe click this transition?
The way we go about it, every week we're trying to get better. So
right.
It's starting to get better. It's not where it needs to be,
right.
But it's starting to, and there's some evidence on the field, and that part's that's what we're proud of.
Right.
I know it's usually easier to make corrections after a win just because the players are a little bit happier. Do you feel like practice this week has been going a little bit more smoothly?
Yeah, practice has been good. They've been good. They've been getting better every week. They're thus far this week, practice has been really good and attentive. And the corrections after games are always corrections. So it's not after you win, you come in as warm and fuzzy, because there's always so many things to continue to work on.
You said players have grown up a little bit. Can you add context to what that means within a defense as you go through a season?
When we say phrases like players have grown up a little bit, what we're getting at is, some things we tried to get them to see earlier they didn't see, but all of a sudden they just react and do it. So yeah, they're seeing it. It's starting to happen, and that's what we're referring to.
Is there something that they saw better last game that maybe wasn't happening prior weeks that you can easily identify as, yes, that is identifiable progress?
I think for the most part our run fits were better. We still missed some tackles in some situations. We've got to continue working that. But in terms of run fits and being where we're supposed to be in proper leverages, those were better.
Yeah. You guys have been on top of the conference for so long now, and in a lot of ways, obviously this year's not gone the way you guys wanted, but you guys have become a big dog. Is USC though, when you go down, you're obviously from Southern California, are they still kind of the power you always have to recruit against, just knowing the location, the history there? They have a draw no matter how they're playing, that you guys, even if the record is different, you guys always feel like it's an uphill battle?
Well, in recruiting, we recruit all over the place so much, so it's not kind of the same West Coast recruiting that it used to be. We're all over.
Yeah.
We have kids from probably 25 states. I'm guessing, but we haven't from anywhere. So that part's not the same. But USC is, everyone in our conference is everyone. I mean, this week it's those guys. Next week there'll be someone else, and we could have the same conversation.
Yeah, I only bring up because Jonah said that he was a Southern California guy, and that's a school like a lot of Southern California guys, he really liked growing up, and so to pull those guys out of there, it's like a victory for you guys, I have to imagine.
We don't look at it that way because we're recruiting all over the place. I mean, it's probably exciting for our kids to go back and play, and because of the reasons you just mentioned, being from Southern Cal and wanting to go back and play in front of your family and friends. I'm sure that's a big deal for our kids, but it's the next game for us,
right.
And everyone gets bigger.
Yeah.
You guys know that every game, no matter where your season is, every game gets bigger, and this one's bigger than last week.
Yeah. What have you seen from Sam Darnold at quarterback? What does he do well when you've watched this film?
Yeah, when you start looking at USC's offense, it's very similar to what they've done in the past. They've had tremendous athletes, great receivers, great running backs. The difference is the new quarterback is mobile, and he runs the ball a little more than they've done in the past. So they've added a new dimension to the offense. He's big. He can throw the ball. He's a tremendous runner. So they've added a new dimension to their offense.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you. Appreciate it.